Welcome back, boys and girls, to another incredible video by the one, the only King Jiffy Coats. The neon signs of Shinjuku cast a permanent twilight on the city's concrete canyons. A perfect stage for a man whose life was a study in contrast. A creator of light who ultimately provided to be a creature of shadow. This is the story of the creator of Rurouni Kenshin. The tale begins not in glory but obscurity. A young man, a kid from the sticks with a knack for a pencil, who in 1987 earned an honorable mention at the 33rd Tenzuku Awards for a one-shot called Teacher Pond. He worked as an assistant, a ghost in the machine, for the likes of Takashi Ubata, a master draftsman with an eye for the gothic detail and dramatic tension. Obata's art was a school of hard knocks for Watsuki. For him, Watsuki learned the power of clean, bold lines and a heavy use of shadow, a style that would give Rurouni Kenshin's action a gritty, grounded weight. Obata's own career is a hall in fame, defined by his works like Hirako no Go, which made the ancient game of Go a global phenomenon. Hell, even after watching it myself, I wanted to play the game, even though I still don't understand the rules. And most famously, Death Note. Obata's collaboration on the latter was a tour de force of psychological horror, where every panel dripped with dark, intellectual weight of his character's moral decisions. His influence on Watsuki was profound, shaping the very visual language Watsuki would learn to use to tell on his own story of a man haunted by his past. It was here in the trenches of manga work that Watsuki learned to craft this world. He even had a couple of notable assistants, first of which was Ichiro Oda, a man who was a true force of nature. He learned the craft, but his vision was all his own. Just a year after Watsuki's series ended its run, Oda launched One Piece. It was an adventure on a scale the world had never seen. With over 500 million copies sold worldwide, it became the best-selling manga in history and a cultural behemoth. Oda's art, a chaotic, energetic style filled with an exaggerated characters and boundless imagination, was a direct rejection of Watsuki's more grounded realism. One Piece became the gold standard for long-running shonen manga, a testament to a young assistant who took the lessons he learned and forged a new path entirely. The other assistant was Hiroki Taki, who followed a different though no less significant trajectory. He created Shaman King, a manga that fused traditional Japanese spiritualism with action, exploring the themes of destiny, fate, and the afterlife. Taki's work, which began its serialization in 1998, showed a similar ambition to explore the grand mythological ideas. Though not as massive as One Piece, Shaman King became a beloved series in its own right, celebrated for its unique premise and distinct style. All of this to say that Watsuki was leaving a pedigree of greatness as well as a lineage of giants behind him. His greatest creation, Rurouni Kenshin, wasn't born fully formed. It was a prototype, a pair of short stories from 1992 and 1993. A simple idea about a ronin, a wanderer. But Watsuki, a meticulous craftsman, fleshed out the world. He based his protagonist, Mura Kenshin, on a real-life assassin, Kamawaki Gensai, a man known for his small stature and deadly skill. Gensai's tragic end at the hands of the very government he fought for was the perfect seed for Watsuki's narrative of a man seeking to atone for his past sins. Other characters like the ruthless Sato Hajime were also drawn from the history books. Other characters like Saito Hajime and Rurouni Kenshin, were also drawing from real-life inspiration, such as the Shinigami captain of the same name, a skilled samurai of the late Edo period. Watsuki, a Shinigami fan, shaped Saito as an anti-hero, inspired by the Marvel's The Punisher, Frank Castle, for his ruthless justice and cynical edge, contrasting Kenshin's ideals. The manga, which ran from 1994 to 1999, was a slow burn that erupted into a cultural firestorm. It was a saga of redemption, with the Kenshi's vow of pacifism and his reversed blade, Sakabuto, becoming iconic symbols of the broken man trying to mend. The series' emotional and narrative climax in the Juichiro arc, where Kenshin confronts his deepest trauma, was a masterclass in mature storytelling. It was proof that the story about a killer could be a profound meditation on the value of life. But a dark undercurrent, a sick twist of fate, was always lurking. In November of 2017, the city's police, acting on a tip from a sting operation, busted down the door of a man who was no ordinary criminal. Watsuki's office was a tomb of lies. 100 DVDs of child explicit films seized in a grim haul. The creator of a story about a man seeking redemption was caught with his own dirty secrets. During the interrogation, he broke, confessing to a predilection for girls from elementary to junior high school. The irony was so bitter it could curdle milk. The man who wrote of a hero's moral compass was found to have none. The fallout was a predictable mess. The manga industry, a world built on image and loyalty, recoiled. Shueisha, his publisher, announced a shift. Suspension of the Hokkaido arc, a new sequel that had just started. The public was a mob with the torches, the forums a hive with vitriol and heartbroken betrayal. Yet the legal system, a bureaucratic maze, offered him a way out. Watsuki was handed a simple fine of 200,000 yen, about $1,900 US, and a pass on a prison sentence. The crime, though despicable, was not a violent one in the eyes of the law. So the killer's redemption was granted, not through sacrifice, but a simple payment. The story didn't end here. In June 2018, Shueisha, in a move that felt both cynical and inevitable, announced the return of the Hokkaido arc. The machine had to keep turning, but the return was a hollow victory. The manga's legacy was now irrevocably compromised. Its notable themes permanently stained. The redemption of Rurouni Kenshin, once a powerful idea, now a painful reminder of the man who created it. A man who wrote of honor and integrity, while hiding the dark truth in the shadows of his own making. Personally, I think this scumbag got off way too easy. A simple fine and a slap on the wrist, while viewing endless copies of videos where children underage were put through traumatic and horrific situations. This is the type of stuff that keeps me up at night. The type of stuff that curdles my stomach in a way that not even cottage cheese could handle. But tell me what you think. Do you think that this is a tale where we need to separate the art from the artist? And this man should be able to craft more in the future, to expand more on this world that so many people adore? Or are you kinda like me, where you can look and see that the art was great for what it was, but also understand that this man got away with a crime so vile that one can almost not even comprehend? But let me know down in the comments below. And as always, for more deep dives and more incredibly weird videos, always check out your boy, King Jiffy Coats, and hit him with that like and subscribe. And until next time, stop gooning in the closet.